I might go back to maybe waking up earlier or something.
Surprised that pub's not busy.
You're surprised it's not busy? True. On a side note, this is one of the most beautiful days we've had in Newcastle this year. It's just been nasty this start of the year. It's just been raining and boring and dreary and gray, so I'm not too mad at this. I'd rather be outside though than studying. This is real. Real tears. Real tears. I figured if we're walking more often, I might just do this on a bit regular basis. How have I never seen that before? Narrow the shot, or narrow the shutter a lot. Brilliant. You know what I mean? Since we last talked, I apologize. We had an exam last week, digestive and metabolism. It went really, really well. Do you hear that voice crack? It went really, really well. And I'm glad to report that. We just started a brand new module, and it's the neuroanatomy and behavioral sciences. That's what we're doing. I just finished watching a Casey Neistat video that kind of like lifted my spirits a little bit. I think the last little while I've been kind of, a little bit camera shy. Is that a thing that you're allowed to say on your own vlog? Trying to get back to what we work on, and trying to get back to the things that we built this around. Actually, so what ended up happening is that last week I watched a video, one of my videos from November, and it was insane to see how much we've changed in the last like 5 or 6 months. Today's video is entirely about how med school has changed me. That being said, I gotta get some studying done. Let me go get some studying done, and I will get right back to you, and we'll go from there. Dope? Dope. It's like sanctioned or whatever. I said, going to James back and forth. See that train over there? That train is stopped. That's supposed to be our train and it's stopped, so I don't really know how that's going to play out. It's late. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, long time no see. It's been maybe 2 weeks maybe a week and a half since I've uploaded anything at all. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks since we've actually like had a face-to-face back and forth, you and me talking to the camera, you guys hearing me out. It's been a while. I apologize for that. It's been really, really hectic the last couple weeks. Didn't vlog, didn't go to the gym last week. Probably didn't eat as well as I probably could have. Probably didn't sleep as well as I could have. But that being said, The exam went really, really well, so the ends justifies the means, that kind of idea. We're all back to normal now. We're back at the gym, back into normal classes, back to sort of the regular schedule and flow. We're now in our neuroanatomy and behavioral module. So we're doing head and neck, we're doing brain, we're doing the nervous system. But they're sort of important for somebody who wants to have a sort of, strong understanding of the human body. So, alas, we're stuck. It occurred to me that we've been at this med school thing for, what are we at? We're March now? We've been at this med school thing for about 6 months, 7 months now. Last week I ended up watching one of the videos from November. I watched the London video, and it's crazy to see just how much we've changed in the last 6 or 7 months. My hair is different. There's a lot of differences, and I realize that, if I'm getting back into the video making game, and if I'm getting back into vlogging, maybe I'll do well to start with a video about how med school has changed me. A lot of people ask about, how much does med school cost, which I'm going to talk about at some point. How to study, which I'm going to talk about at some point. How to stay in shape in med school, which I will talk about at some point. But I think sometimes people forget about that emotional part, the fact that you're a young person changing and growing as it is, and now you're adding med school into the mix. And med school itself has a really, it takes a toll on you. It changes you, changes your approach to things, changes your perspective on things, and I can say firsthand, I've experienced it. So without any further ado, let me talk to you about how med school has changed me. And if you are a med student somewhere in the world and you happen to be seeing this and you want to start a conversation about how med school maybe changed you, by all means, pop a comment in the comment section, hit me up, let me know. We can start a conversation. Let's get the ball rolling on this thing. Number one, I have to say, I think the med school is making me a little bit more of a perfectionist. That's not something I would have expected myself to ever say. I've never considered myself a perfectionist. I've never liked details. I've liked big pictures, big work, hard work, and that's it. Now I'm getting to this point where I need to put more energy into that. And I think that's one of the big things that med school is doing. Obviously, if you ever want to become a surgeon, for example, you do have to have an eye for detail. I think it just so happens that because YouTube started around the same time for me as med school did, that same kind of, desire for perfection is being translated over from med school into my YouTube video. So because of that, I'm, playing around with frames per second. I'm borrowing lighting rigs.
Nobody cares!
I've realized that I need to crank up my work ethic. It's gotten to a point where, you finish an exam, you go right back to work. You finish an exam, you go right back to work. You finish an exam, you go right back to work. The work really doesn't stop. When I feel like I don't want to do things, I'm starting to develop a little bit of a sense of just get it done anyways, which is a good trait. I think I want it to be a good trait to develop moving forward. So hopefully that just gets better and better and better. There's a lot of stress associated with med school. And it's like we talk about homeostasis. I make these really whack ass jokes about med stuff now. This idea that when the body encounters stress, it sets a new base level. It sets a set point. It changes its set point. So let's say your set point was down here originally, and then you got cranked up to here. And then instead of having the chance to come back down here, it kind of stayed here for a while. What your body then does is just says, okay, well, if this is the new norm, this is what we're at. We're we came from here, stress levels here, we got stuck up here. And then one day we went to here. And then I realized that we were here. And I was like, can we go back to the days when we were here? And they said, no, we're not allowed to go to the days when we were here. So instead we're going to do this. So now my new set point is here, okay, but I'm working up here. It's probably a good thing. Where here, realistically, this set point is going to be here in about 3 weeks because that's the next midterm that we have. So yeah, if you see me and my jugulars are distended, that is what's going on. You run out of time for a lot of things. Like I said, last week was a big exam. There was a lot of anxiety going into it. Our set point was up here for stress. Here for stress. And you kind of don't have a lot of time for the things that you always have wanted to do. What tends to happen is, in my case, what tends to happen is that the times that you do get to play, you play hard. And you can take that however you want to take it. Play really, really hard. I also got a chance to do absolutely nothing last weekend, and I've never lazed so hard in my life. I'm lazed. I was the laziest son of a... It was wonderful, it was glorious, and we went right back to work because it rolls and it rolls and it rolls. Another thing that I found has changed for me as far as med school is I never considered myself a very social person or the type of person that you come to for questions or for advice or anything like that, because of, you know, the fact that we're doing YouTube videos. Now I'm now fielding questions that I didn't expect to be fielding, and that's not a bad thing. It's just, again, one of those things that I'm like, I need to get used to, because I'm honestly, I am a terrible person in social situations. I am consider myself a very socially inept, not adept, inept. I have very low social aptitude, inept. I'm bad in social settings. I don't consider myself to be the type of person that fields questions well. And I think I'm trying to work on it. I am appreciative of the fact that you guys are reaching out to me and sending me questions. Don't get me wrong. Every once in a while, I think I take some time to respond to comments and to messages and stuff like that. I assure you, it's not out of like annoyance, not out of being like too high and mighty or anything. Lord knows, nobody knows who I am. There's no high and mighty here. I'm just really, really bad at getting back to people and like doing the social aspect of this endeavor. It's a very pleasant surprise. I just wouldn't have expected it, you know, this soon. It's hilarious. It's hilarious to consider how many times I'm comparing myself to other people now. I think that's as a result of med school, as a result of YouTube. There's like a way that going back to the perfectionist bit, I find myself comparing myself to other people in different aspects. You know, I'll compare my YouTube channel to other people's YouTube channels who've been doing it for a much longer time. My marks to other people who are, you know, maybe doing better than me. My finances to people back home who aren't in med school. And a lot of the time it's like, it's as a result of stress, and it's as a result of just being tired. Feeling defeated is another thing that you should throw into that stress idea, because that happens a lot. It will happen a lot. Just get used to it. It's part of this whole thing where your set point is up here. You will feel defeated a lot. I tend to compare myself maybe more times than I really should. You can compare yourself by looking at something good that somebody else is doing and being like, yeah, I'm going to take from that and I'm going to use it and I'm going to add it to my life and make some really good things out of it. Or you compare yourself and be like, this person's doing X amount of things better than I am, and we're getting X amount of results and luck more than I am. And that's not really helping you. You're just comparing for the sake of comparing. That's obviously not helping, and I find I'm doing that a lot. I'm also rambling, can you tell? I find that I do that a lot lately, which I'm, again, trying to work on. I think that's one of the downsides of being here, but it's take the good with the bad. You take the good with the bad, with the bad, good with the bad. You take the good with the bad. Sorry. You take the good with the bad, and you just keep pushing forward. So that's realistically where I've been at. Some good, some bad. It's all part of the growth. It's all part of, you know, becoming this person who I decided that I want to become. My goal is just to always make each day better than the last day, and I think we're moving towards that. So I can't complain that much. Guys, I appreciate you watching the video. Listen, if you like what I've been doing up to this point, if you like any of the old videos, if you like any of the concepts I'm talking about now, if you like this video, hit the like button. Subscribe. By all means, subscribe, because, side note, whenever I look into the camera, I look cross-eyed. I should look there, not there. So, if you like what I'm doing, subscribe to the channel, hit me up, send me messages, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Snapchat. I have 2 Snapchats. I got a personal one, it's personal, and I have one that's like the Ianu Live Snapchat. More active on Instagram. I'm going to start taking more pictures. I got an Adobe Creative Cloud access. So because of that, I'm going to start playing around with a couple things. Hopefully send out some more quality stuff to you guys. And follow me on all of those. We're building something really great here. We're just going to get the ball rolling slowly but surely. And we're going to be great. We're going to be great. It's going to be huge. Sorry, that was a terrible joke. Later!